Hey everyone, it's your friend and colleague Jesse Green, and you're listening to the Savvy Dentist podcast. And today I want to talk to you about 3 fatal mistakes that practice owners make when they go to scale their practice and how you can avoid them. Now, everyone talks about scaling up or 10xing their revenue, but here's the hard truth that you really must understand: that if you don't scale your practice correctly, it can be the fastest way to kill an otherwise very profitable practice. And the reason, of course, is that what got you to be profitable are not the same skills that get you to scale up. If you try to double your growth without changing the playbook, you don't actually double your profit. You actually just double, or sometimes even treble, the chaos in your life. And the reason is chaos scales faster than anything else. So today we're going to break down these massive mistakes and show you how to avoid them so you can fix things before it's too late. The first big mistake is one of timing, and usually it's when practice owners decide to scale too quickly or before they're ready to. And what I've likened this to is being stopped at a traffic light in your car and trying to take off from the traffic lights in 4th gear. You just don't have enough revs in the engine to justify that gear. And it's the same with scaling. And what that means is you need to have enough throughput through your existing practice to make sure that your existing infrastructure is already working hard for you. And in fact, it's working so hard that it should feel slightly strained. Now, the reason this is very important is because when you go to scale up, one of the things you're going to burn faster than anything is cash. And so it's really important, if you're going to expend money to add in infrastructure, chairs, rooms, plumbing, all the physical infrastructure, as well as the people infrastructure, whether it's extra clinicians, extra support staff, receptionists, and so on, you're going to need to make sure you have a pipeline of patients that is absolutely bursting to come through the door and into this expanded facility that you've created. Because if you don't, you've got infrastructure sitting there being underutilized, you've got staff sitting there twiddling their thumbs, and ultimately you've got a great big hole in your practice that is just sucking money out on a day-by-day basis. So the fix for this is to make sure you have developed front-end marketing systems using a combination of both external marketing and internal marketing. External marketing being things such as digital marketing, traditional offline marketing, as well as all the internal marketing things that you would do, whether it's your recall systems, plugging patient leaks through patient retention, reactivating old patients who may have slipped through the cracks, and so on. Ultimately, all this is designed to do is to make sure that your patient pipeline is full to the brim, and you're going to create demand that can be soaked up with this extra capacity you're about to add. So the big idea here is you got to nail it before you scale it. You got to make sure that you're already operating well before you decide to scale up. So let's get to mistake number 2. This is a mistake that occurs very, very regularly because the practice owner inadvertently sets themselves up as the source of all knowledge. And they do this because they have not spent the time to document the way things are done in the business. They haven't built the playbooks, they haven't built the systems, they haven't built the standard operating procedures. And even if they have, they haven't got the team following them religiously. The processes might be documented, but they're not followed, but more likely they're either not documented or partially documented. So the way this shows up in the practice is you as the practice owner are often the person of first choice when it comes to questions. People will come to you asking, how to do this? Should I do that? What's your view on X, Y, Z? And all of a sudden you've become the answer guy or the answer girl. And ultimately what your systems and processes should allow you to do is to be one layer back. You want to be the person of last resort rather than the person of first resort. And a couple of weeks ago, I recorded an Instagram reel talking about McDonald's and why young kids, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, can run large stores. It's not because they're geniuses, though they may be clever young kids. It's the systems that are genius, and it's the systems that allow those young kids to run multi-million-dollar operations. And that's exactly what we're looking to do for your practice as well, is to document how things get done. So the shift here is from being the hero to being the architect. Rather than being the hero that knows everything, it's about being the architect that designs the systems that know everything. The third big mistake I see practice owners make when it comes to scaling is around their team. And so rather than hiring the best people, the most highly qualified people, the people that can help them grow the business, they try to hire the cheapest. They try to keep their labor costs under tight control, and they end up nickel and diming their team. And what happens then is they have false economy. When you hire people, you're looking to buy back your time. And if you're hiring the people who are the least expensive, usually those same people are the least capable. And what that means is you're still on watch. You're still the person who has to remain vigilant every moment of every day. So the trap that dentists fall into is to hire people to do tasks rather than hiring people who can make decisions. It's a key difference and will make the world of difference to your practice. The other way the hiring mistake shows up is by hiring mini-me's. And when you hire mini-me's, you don't get diversity of views, you don't get diversity of opinion, and you just get this complete agreement. And so no matter what you say, people just go along with. If you're going to scale your practice, you want people who are brave enough and courageous enough to have a view that might be different to yours. And it allows you to stress test your thinking. It allows you to stress test your ideas. We all get convinced that our ideas are the best. And one of my mentors is often fond of saying, all my bad ideas started out as good ideas. And having a group of people who are capable and confident enough within themselves to be able to disagree with you politely and respectfully, but disagree with you, allows you to identify any blind spots or any gaps in your thinking. And it's going to save you a ton of time, a ton of frustration, and ultimately a ton of money as well. Another common mistake that people make when it comes to hiring, of course, is to hire for the here and now rather than hiring for the future. And so one of the things I want to encourage you to do is to have two organizational charts. Have your current organizational chart, which is your day-to-day operations, your business as usual as it is, but also map out the future org chart that you would need to have in place as you look to scale your business. So if you want to follow in the footstep of some of our clients who have built $10 million practices, I can tell you that you're going to need to have a future org chart because it's going to allow you to identify what your final team will look like. It'll identify who the next right hire is going to be for you and what the capability that's going to add for you. So as I said, have a current org chart and a future org chart. Just remember, leverage comes by hiring great people and giving those great people the right systems and processes to follow. What that gives you then is consistency. And that consistency gives you peace of mind to know that the practice is operating like a metronome every single day without missing a beat. That practice is going to run day in, day out. Then you're confident to take a step back. Then you're confident to elevate your own thinking and to be creative and think about other things to move the business forward. Okay, so that's a wrap on the three major mistakes that practice owners make as they look to scale up. But there's also another monumental problem that almost every practice owner encounters at some point in their ownership journey, and that is the unproductive associate. So you've hired this person, they've come into the practice, and you think that they're going to be looking after your patients, you think they're going to be billing well, you think you're going to get some leverage, and you think you're going to be able to buy back your time. But the reality is you're still billing the lion's share of the revenue. The reality is you've got an underutilized asset, whether it's your patient base, whether it's the chair, and all of a sudden, all the leverage that you'd hoped you'd get doesn't materialize. So next week, we're going to talk about the unproductive associate, how it shows up, what are the symptoms of an unproductive associate, and most importantly, how do you actually fix it? So tune in next week. We're going to unpack that and give you some strategies to help you ensure your associates are as productive as you are. See you then. Hey everyone, it's Jesse here. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the podcast. If you're looking for some more tools, some more insights, some more inspiration to help you create a practice that you love, as well as a life that you love, well, head across to savvydentist.com and check out all the goodies that we have there waiting for you right now.